Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, winter is just around the corner as you get a look at New Era Field just south of Buffalo, New York. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they, too, were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback. Out of Oregon, it's Marcus Mariota.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss.
He's checking crap.
The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. Quickly now, here's the Buffalo offense.
I don't think it's hyperbole to say that Mike Pouncey's one of the best centers in the league, and to me, he helped usher in that new wave of centers. Agile, able to get to the second level and block people downfield, able to pull like a guard and get out in front of ball carriers, and pass protects really well, helps keep his quarterbacks clean.
And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up. Davis, he'll try to run for it. And he's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
I bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
Here's Tyler Newsome now. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Don't get nervous. He's checking.
On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. This is how they'll line up on the defensive side for Buffalo. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And that play right there shows exactly why they're so good against the run. Held the line of scrimmage, held the point of attack, and stuffed him for no gain.
To throw on third down. Reeves. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on third down. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
On the return, it's James. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Out come the Bills as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Play action now. Mariota. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It's a pickup of 17 on that one and a Bills 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Mike.
First down, Mariota. He's going to look deep down the field. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Mariota again. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot, and this will remain a scoreless game. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. He wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
Well, this offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50, 1st and 10. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
55, mark, 55.
Running out of the gun with White. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. The tally there, -2 yards. Brings up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. from the gun. Reese. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Here's Matt Hawk now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
It's Davis on the counter, and he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down. What happened there? Was that just a missed assignment on the O-line?
It certainly felt like it, but also the speed of the play. When you're talking about defensive end, they want to be ahead of the clock, don't they? They want to be upfield, making plays on every snap. How about his agility there to run that one down?
On 3rd down, Mariota. He rifles one that's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. First down, here's White. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Here's White. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it's going to be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Off the bootleg. Reese. Got Gordon open, completes it. And they'll get this down to the 10. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. But there's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. Going on the ground, it's White. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Off the play fake. Reese. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Danny Amendola, that was the intended target, and it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And the kick by Butker is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Marcus Mariota getting ready to go again here on offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
A gain of 6 there on first. On the draw, this is Davis. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. A look there at how Davis did a week ago. 16 carries, 72 yards.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week. It's a pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Here's Davis now. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. 3rd and short yardage. Mariota got a man. It's his tight end, Lance Kendricks. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Miles Jack there to make the tackle. Second and 5 now. Mariota. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 31-yard line. A first down carry for Davis. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On 2nd down now, it's Davis. And not much running room. Down to the 32. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. And it's caught by Parker. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
First trip to the red zone for the Bills. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And this one to Treadwell, complete. And they're going to lose some on this play. being knocked back to the 18.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Throwing, Mariota. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Robert Kimdichie able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Mariota to throw it. And the pressure gets to him again. Jonathan Hankins in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. The wind is at his back here in the 2nd quarter. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick. But let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Danny Amendola, the man he was trying to get it to. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Back to the air on 2nd down. Rees. And this will be incomplete. The rookie from Michigan there defensively. That's Devin Bush making the play. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw. Rees. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. 11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down. Mariota now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo 1st down. On 1st down, it's Davis. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. This is Davis. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield. The Bills on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Mariota now from the 50. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. The Bills send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play. I'm sure as a coach, when you throw the flag, you hold your breath, then you get the verification you were right, a sigh of relief.
Not only a sigh of relief, a little vindication as well, because every time you pull that red flag and throw it, you could be costing your team a timeout.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's White, and he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards there and a 1st down. They go right back to White here on 1st down. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Watch the screen. Pass. Check 99. Check 99.
On 2nd down now, it's White pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. And the Steelers on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Off play action. Rees. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Devin Bush, the linebacker, was the one there in pass coverage. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he's got a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bills' 24-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll run on 1st down. White And able to work his way down to the 16. 9 yards on the run there, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down. And Amendola's got it, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. Operating from the gun, Reese. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. It's their quarterback with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. That touchdown, Charles, the first rushing TD of his rookie year.
I don't know that he's going to be Lamar Jackson or Russell Wilson or Josh Allen at this stage of his career, but he's got youth on his side. Those young legs, he put them to good use there, didn't he?
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Time to look now with our spotlight at the quarterback, Marcus Mariota. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Mariota, it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Now Mariota. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Play fake. Mariota. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw is Mariota. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
The Bills send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down to close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
And now a carry here for Orleans Darkwa. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. A final shot before break. Reese under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
2nd and 2. It's complete. James White. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. They'll run with Darkwa. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Each team has its own terminology. Some people call it jumbo, some call it monster, some call it king. But it doesn't really matter. They brought in the big lumber to pick up that first down.
Yeah, you think about goal line defense with the goal line offense that time getting it done. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
8 yards on the run, and that cuts us down to a 3rd and about 5. From the gun on 3rd down, Reese and Amendola with a catch. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 43.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 43. A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry, 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Opting to run again here with White. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. From the gun, Reese. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. The safety, Jamal Adams, able to break that one up.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This from 54 yards away. He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Davis. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Mariota now. Got an open man. It's Washington. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Out of the shotgun, they'll run with Davis. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
They really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's Mariota. They'll set up the screen with Davis. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. Now Mariota.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
That'll go as a loss of 5. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
The kick by Maher is good. And that'll get the lead down to 5. So the 3 points there gets them a bit closer, but you can bet there's probably some guys on that sideline, Charles, thinking we deserve a better play.
No doubt, Brandon. Those 2 misses earlier are kind of hanging over them right about now. In a tight one like this, if those are makes, then obviously this is a completely different game.
This one taken from the 7. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun. Reese able to get this to Gordon. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he will have a 1st down as they get into the ground at the 37. 2 yards and able to get the 1st down in the process.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage. But it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force. And they had that to pick up the 1st down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Reese. His throw incomplete. Amendola, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's White. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. Back to throw. Reese. And that will be incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. First down, Mariota. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, Davis. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
On third down, Mariota. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Had to pass there, third and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for third and short, because when it's third and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
Returning it is Moore. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Amendola again, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. Now White. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Off the play fake. Rees. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And the Bills getting set to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. Mariota now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And opening there on that 1st down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. Back now in Buffalo. The Bills have the football, but they trail here as we begin quarter number 4. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
I'm coming after you. Check that.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. To throw Mariota. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Mariota now to throw on 1st down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now listen, it's a team game, we know that, but where would these guys be right now, Charles, without their defense? So they take over here following the turnover. Defense did it again, but on offense they have to feel like, hey, we need to do something.
You're exactly right. You just mentioned it. The defense did it again. They've bailed them out on a number of occasions in this contest. It's time for them to repay the defense at the least. Keep the ball for a while. Give those guys a break so they can catch their breath.
Off play action. Reese. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards. Quite the turnaround from a week ago where he threw 4 interceptions. He hasn't had an interception this game, and he told us during the week, my goal, goose egg. He's achieving that so far.
And what we're seeing is a guy that you can win with, all right? Because anyone who can make that type of an adjustment and shake off a really horrendous week the week before and come back and play mistake-free football to this point, yeah, that's a guy I want to play with, that's for sure.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Reese. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll run with White. And he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Reese. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Reese. And his throw here's incomplete. It was Darnell Savage that time who was able to knock it away. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. Well, holding on to the lead at this stage in the second half, those are the types of plays you really want to try and stay away from.
And when you're a rookie, keeping your focus is something that you still have to work on all the time because there's so many distractions around you between the crowd noise and your coaches and your teammates. But the other part, you've got to learn how to finish. The 2 F's for a rookie quarterback.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mariota. Parker unable to get that one, and it's 3rd and short. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Working out of the gun, Mariota. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Here's more on the return. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Here's 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead. You want to run the ball, keep the... Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
He's just not at his focus in this game. It's not one drop. It's not two. That's 3 for this contest.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for any NFL receiver, and he's no exception.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. That last catch winds up costing him 3, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd and 13. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Montez Sweat, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. The Bills send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline.
Let's go, first.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They begin the drive on the ground. It's White. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Off the play fake. Reeves. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, but now it'll be 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Reeves. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Following the interception here, Mariota. Now they go screen. It's complete. A nice gain of 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now it's a bootleg with Mariota. And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. Second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Davis. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. And the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it. But 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. And, you know, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on 4th down.
And now out come the Steelers. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Reese. And he's got Amendola on the connection. And they stop him short of the 1st as he can only get to the 20. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here's Matt Hawk now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He'll look to throw. It's caught by Treadwell. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a 1st down. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Mariota. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
4th down, Mariota. He's going to let it fly. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Over there, right? 52's the mic. We got it.
On 1st down, White, and he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he gets this one to Ridley complete.
An eligible receiver downfield. Offense.
Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there.
Ready? This is Pittsburgh. Check 55, Mike. Get that quarterback and all.
They keep it on the ground. White again. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. From the gun, Reese. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And they will take a knee here. And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium. That certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost felt like open up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for the Steelers, the win is their 5th of the year as they move to 5-8, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Bills, any slim hopes they had at a playoff berth gone now as they drop to 4-9. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.